Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to the final Cowboy Game Day live halftime show brought to you by Dave's Hot Chicken, where the Cowboys have their final halftime lead at 6-3, but it obviously should be a lot more than that, or at the very least a little bit more than that, but a lot to get at here. I think we are getting some answers to some questions. I want to bring that up, but Jesse was very, very vocal about this red zone execution, both from coach and player, which it's been just a mess all season down there, Jesse. But kind of elaborate what you were talking about here as you were fired up about this execution down there.
Yeah, Michael from Pittsburgh. I don't know how much the hay is in the barn for you, my guy.
It's in there.
But if you don't want to lose your job, like, these are the plays that I'm talking about. These are the moments, and I know this game probably means nothing, but it's these instances where you can show yourself worthy as a play caller. You've just marched the ball down the field. Your 14th, 15th play on this drive. You got them wore down. You've been able to gas them in the running game. You're in the goal line. Hand the ball off to Rico. Okay, cool. You don't want to hand the ball off to Rico. I'm fine with that. But if you're going to throw a fade ball, don't pick the oldest and the second to last shortest guy on your foot. You got Mingo, you got Tolbert, you got Brooks, you got Flournoy, you got Ferg.
He has five targets down. It's ridiculous.
There's 5 targets that you could have thrown that pass play to, but you called it, whether it was a kill call or what have you, you still called it with the thought in mind that Brandon Cooks, the oldest and second to the smallest dude on your roster. Mind-boggling to me. And in the last play, of course, before the half, you got to go and you got to make a play. And Trey Lance missed another blitz on the backside. Should have been a kill shot. They missed him. He got a chance to scramble out. Couldn't complete the pass to Rico in the end zone. But these are the type of things that when you talk about the difference between, and I said this weeks ago, one of the reasons why I did not want Mike McCarthy to come back. You do not have a competitive advantage from the sideline.
No.
You don't come into games where you can go and say, you know what? All things being equal, we got the guy on the sideline that's going to get us into the right call, right play, set plays up, scheme. We don't have that. So now, not only do you not have it on the field, where you may have some athletic advantage or some sort of advantage on the field, whether it's CeeDee Lamb, whether it's Micah Parsons, but as a whole team, you don't have the advantage on the field. And because Mike McCarthy is who he is, you damn sure don't have it on the sideline. And these are the small things. And if you think I'm nitpicking, so the hell what? So what? But these are the type of things that happen in a game that when you go and you look and you say, well, when you have to play the big dogs, when you got to go and play the Niners when they're healthy, when you got to go and play Philadelphia, when you got to go and play Minnesota or Detroit or whoever it is that Green Bay, that you're going to have to beat at some point in time going forward to get to those big time rounds in the playoffs, this type of BS that you run out there. Like, this is the thought process that you run out there with. And this is why we do not have a competitive advantage. It's because of simple, stupid stuff like this. And I get it. I hear y'all. The game doesn't matter. But if it doesn't matter, then do it the right way. Go get, Mingo 6'3", 215, 17 pounds, 6'4".
Yeah, we like to see it.
I like to see it. I like to see, if we're going to run this route or this is going to be an option to go to a kill route, Mingo, you go stand out there. If they give us the one-on-one shot, great. If they don't give us the one-on-one shot, we run the football. Whatever. Not Brandon Cooks. Not Brandon Cooks. I don't want Brandon Cooks on the fade ball. Brandon Cooks on a fade route? That's just stupid. It's stupid.
It's compounding the fact that, let me say this real quick. It's ruining a hell of a defensive performance in the first half, Jesse. The defense, yes. Again, I get it. It's the last game of the season, but the Washington football people are not going out there laying down. They're trying to actually execute and win this game because there's seedings, on point here. And this is the second game for at least, 2 quarters, the second game in the first half that Mike Zimmer has pretty much shut down Jaden Daniels. 6 for 12, 38 yards. Now, De'Ami Brown had a wide open Zacchaeus, who dropped the ball on a trick play, but that's all they could really muster up is some trick plays and Jaden Daniels running around. And this is, again, sounding like the same thing that we've seen all year, where the defense is coming out in the first half and doing their job, but the offense just can't seem to get anything going. This time it's the third quarterback that it's happening to, and we're really burying the lead. Trey Lance does not look good. And I think we're seeing why, right? They didn't want to put him out there. And it started off good, and I text this to you. The scripted plays looks great, right? Like Mike McCarthy came out. I thought his scripted plays were excellent, right? Getting Trey Lance on the move, roll in the pocket, get the ball out really fast. But once those scripted plays are over, and now you got to start playing up here, right? As a quarterback, that's where you see the drastic difference between Trey Lance and Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush, we saw him be able to bink, 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 bink against this exact same defense on the road, have you? Whereas Trey Lance, they eliminated moving the pocket. They eliminated him, using his legs, and they said, you got to drop back and play some drop back football. And it's been bad. He's been inaccurate. He's been late. He's been overthrowing the ball, underthrowing the ball, wide open touchdown on the rollout, missed it. I thought it started off great. And I thought this is great for Trey, right? Like, get some confidence. Here we go. And it's like, this is why Trey Lance wasn't out there to begin with.
No, you're absolutely right. And if you can't think this game from a quarterback perspective, you can't play this game. Your athletic ability will only take you so far, because when it comes down to you having to see a defensive formation, understand what they're going to, what plays to get yourself into, that's where it all comes down to. And, I know that Trey Lance doesn't get a lot of reps,
right?
But when he gets his opportunities, these are the things that a coach sees and he goes, man, you still haven't learned from the last time that you were out here, or what we worked on practice. And so sometimes, just being able to line up and see in the right coverages and to call the right, plays and make the right reads, that's the confidence that a coach may need. Because they're like, man, okay, if he gets that part, now I can add on to his plate. But once we get past that scripted where the ball should be going right away, like you said, when I get a chance to roll that pocket, what do? I cut half the feel off. I cut half my reads off, and it's either run, throw the ball right in front of me, or what's that second level coming behind it? And those plays are good, and those plays are necessary in the grand scheme of the offense.
They can't be.
But I can't run those plays down in and down out. Yeah. Right? I can't cut the feel off down in and down out. I can't roll you out to the right side every single time and only giving you a two-way go. No, I got to be able to drop you back and play action you. You have to be able to sift through and read through the defenses and who's covering and who's dropping and what, the picture has changed from the time that you said, here we go, to the time the ball actually, you got to the top of your drop with the football. So Trey Lance has just got to get better with reading the field, seeing the field, and understanding it, and then being able to deliver the ball in spaces where the ball is catchable and the guys can make plays.
Yeah, it's just basically showcasing that this type of offense, and this is why I don't believe Mike ever really wanted him, because it made no sense. The offense, the West Coast style of offense, the drop back style of offense does not fit Trey Lance.
Right.
So now you have to have a coordinator, a play caller, an offensive mind that has the ability to completely change it. And I just never thought that McCarthy had that in his wheelhouse to want to change it from a West Coast style offense to a RPO, because that's what it has to be. RPO with Trey Lance. It has to look like what Jalen Hurts was doing for some years under Shane Steichen, and even to some extent what they did in that Super Bowl run when they switched it to predominantly RPO in the playoffs, and they won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Granted, he wasn't running; it was more so literally hand the ball off or throw it on a quick slant or attaching it to it, and that's not Mike. Mike is trying to do some of the pistol stuff, but it's mostly run, right? He's done some of the pull it and like you said, cut the field in half, but that can't be your entire offense, because it can't be for Mike. There are coordinators where they know how to build within that, but that's not this offense. And that honestly is not necessarily an indictment on Mike, because he has his offense. He has his preference. Right. And a certain quarterback has to run it that way. So you're seeing what happens when you go above your coach, bring in a guy that does not fit. And to be fair, we're all asking, hey, throw him out there, 4th round pick. Why are we not seeing him? And there was a lot of buzz that, well, we're not seeing him because he can't do this. Now we get a chance to really see. the drop back offense is difficult for Trey Lance. It just is.
No, it is, and that complicates things again, because when you're not the guy. See, it's one thing when you're Hurts or you're Lamar Jackson, and there's a high quality of resources that have been put into you.
Yeah.
Now
they cater to you.
And then we cater to you. Now we begin to work within your strengths. But because you're trying to make your way, you're trying to get into that position, you're trying to get to that starting job, you have to adapt to what they're running and become good at that. Or you're going to find yourself in the unemployment line or being a career backup, to a team that maybe has players like that maybe has the Lamar Jackson, the Hurts of the world, because in this particular offense under Mike McCarthy, it requires you to be able to read and react and deliver the ball to those places in a timely manner. Like, that's also critical in the West Coast offense. It's about the timing of it. Your footwork, your drop back, your footwork, it times up with the routes, right? So if you're slow with that, you're slow with reading, you're slow with your drop back, then the timing of the route is off. And now guys who are supposed to be in windows aren't in windows or through windows, or guys have now, those windows have closed and defenders are now in those windows, and then the timing is off in that. So it's so many critical things in this West Coast offense, from the timing to the footwork to the drop back to your route, your depth, your coming out of your breaks. If those things aren't in line, then you're definitely going to be off.
Well, he'll get a chance to come out. They get the ball here in a few seconds. They're about to kick off and see if he can have a stronger second half, because this could be the last chance to impress not only the Cowboys, but the rest of the National Football League as Trey hits free agency. And then the Cowboys defense will get on the field, where Micah Parsons already has 2.5 sacks. He is now the 4th player all time to hit 10 sacks 4 straight seasons to start his career. Here they go, Cowboys Nation. We will see you in the post-game show. This